Hello, Gold Derbyites. Welcome back to another edition of Awards Magnet. I'm Deputy Editor Ethan Alter, and this week we're featuring my interview with Best Supporting Actor Oscar nominee Stellan Skarsgård, star of Joachim Trier's acclaimed drama Sentimental Value. Skarsgård is a familiar film presence with a long career and memorable roles in such films as Breaking the Waves, the Mamma Mia movies, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe franchise. But Sentimental Value marks the first time he's been Oscar nominated, and he reflects on his awards circuit experience in our conversation. Sentimental Value is nominated for 9 Oscars overall, including acting nominations for each of Skarsgård's co-stars, as well as Best Picture, Best Original Screenplay, and Best Director. Skarsgård has already won the Golden Globe for his performance as Gustav Borg, a film director who has a late career chance to make a new movie with an established Hollywood star, and that causes a rift with his adult daughters. Skarsgård is heavily favored to win the Best Supporting Actor statuette on our Gold Derby leaderboards. Listen to the Awards Magnet interview with Skarsgård to learn more about his approach to the role, his reflections on Breaking the Waves as that movie celebrates its 30th anniversary, and whether he'll be back for a third Mamma Mia film. Enjoy the conversation and be sure to send any thoughts, comments, or voicemails to awardsmagnet@goldderby.com.
Why didn't you want to do the role? He wanted you to do it.
I can't work with him. We can't really talk.
My father is a very difficult person.
Ni två är ju det bästa som har hänt mig.
Bäst som har skett dig? Ska vi varta lite mer då?
Please welcome Sentimental Value star and Best Supporting Actor nominee Stellan Skarsgård to Awards Magnet. Thank you, sir, for joining.
Thank you very much for allowing me to be here.
Yes, it's been a long season for you, I know. How are you feeling as the end comes in sight? Are you ready? Are you ready for the big night to happen?
I'll see the end of the tunnel. It's I don't know. It's been exhausting. I mean, we've been doing this as Cannes, and it's a full-time job. And I'd like to go back to my day job afterwards.
Yeah, have you found time to film anything in between, or has it really just
No.
been Kim? Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, what's been your favorite moments? Have there been any standout moments from doing this for this long? What do you think about it?
I don't know. Maybe it is the Q&As that I like the most, because and you meet an audience that has freshly seen your film, and they are. I mean, it's also depending on the film, of course, but especially for this film, it's people are really they're moved, but they're touched by the film. But all kinds of people, all ages of people. I mean, it's amazing, and you get a huge feedback.
Sentimental Value really does feel like the kind of movie that Hollywood made. It put me in mind of Ordinary People, Terms of Endearment, those kinds of films that you don't see studios making anymore. So I can see someone who loves those movies wanting to revisit this one again and again in that way.
Yeah, and it's also such a rich movie. It's so complex that you discover new things every time you see it. I've only seen it 3 times, and I haven't had time to see them more.
Right. Well, there's much time left ahead, so you can
Thank
go
you.
6 and beyond. So obviously you're playing a filmmaker, Gustav, in this movie. Are there specific directors you modeled the character after, or experiences you've had in your own life?
No, I didn't. Of course, I said, "Oh, I'm going to play a director." Revenge, I was thinking, but I did not. And I mean, it's because it's an artist, and that's the important thing. And as every artist, he is his art. He is his job, and he's obsessed by it, of course. So he could just as well be a painter, a musician, or a trumpet player, whatever. And I didn't think of him as a director more than that. I sort of was calibrating his. I made him very blunt and very incapable of having an emotional life with his family. And he's saying the wrong thing. He's completely. I mean, sometimes it's funny and sometimes it's tragic, but he's desperate to get in touch with him, in a way. But at the same time, he's a director, and as a director, he's very sensitive and he's very listening, and he sees everything you do and understands everything you do, and that is not an accommodation. A lot of directors are like that. Ingmar Bergman was like that. He didn't see his family.
In terms of your own relationship to filmmakers as an actor, do you have a different relationship now with the directors you work with than you did when you were younger? Are there things that you don't put up with anymore that you did as a younger actor working on films?
Of course, I mean, you as a younger actor, you are more at the mercy of the director, because the director doesn't ask you. I mean, you come in like nobody, and he says, "You stand over there," and that is about what it's like. And then eventually, when you have a couple of years under your wings, then they'll say, "Oh, what do you think?" And it's much different. But it's also that I've developed my way of working with directors, and I'm more loyal to them now than I ever been, because I think that for a film to become a good piece of art, it has to be subjective. It has to come out of one subject, one will, one worldview, and that so it's my job is much more to find out what kind of film does he want to make, so I can support him or her.
Is there a piece of advice you would give your younger self going back talk about how you worked with your directors and something you've learned now that you wish you could impart to yourself?
Yeah, I would say, don't try so hard. Relax. I mean, wait and see. It's the effort becomes the effort. The film camera sees the effort, and the effort is not good.
What's a scene in Sentimental Value that you really benefited from, that where you didn't throw so much effort into it and just let it naturally happen?
Well, absolutely every scene did. I mean, I was extremely relaxed, as you might see, especially in the drunk scenes, of course, where I'm supposed to be relaxed. But Joachim, he creates such an atmosphere on the set, and it's not about presenting solutions. It's about investigating scenes and investigating relationships and trying out things between each other, and you surprise yourself constantly, and that is wonderful, I think.
I think one of my favorite scenes in the film is when Gustav goes to visit his cinematographer for the first time in many years, and he's hoping to renew that collaboration on this new film, but instead he sort of runs directly into his own mortality. He sees what happened to his collaborator and where he is now. I think that the way you turn that scene is so interesting. Tell me about your approach to that scene and what that scene meant to you in the context of his life.
I had to feel the shock, because when I saw that he couldn't move barely, I realized he's aged, and I had not realized that I've aged myself. So I saw myself in the mirror, and I knew it was just a matter of weeks before I would end up there somehow. And also, of course, it was I had to let him down. I had to not hire him, and he understood that. So it's quite a movie scene in that sense.
Right, absolutely. And it says a lot about his attempt to come back to this industry after so much time away, and what he's looking to achieve, and who he thinks of as himself. So yeah, it's a really interesting scene. In terms of the relationships with his own family, I kept spending the movie wondering, is he the kind of person who plays favorites? He definitely has different relationships with his daughters. In your mind, do you think he has a favorite? Would he admit to having a favorite?
The thing with Renate's character is the older sister, which is so complicated, but I think it's because she's like him in a way. They're very much alike, and they're stubborn, and they are fighting, and they're impulsive, while the younger sister is so much more mature in a way, and she's the person who's trying to say, to get them together, to calm down, and the voice of reason, but also in a beautiful way, the voice of love.
And Agnes's status is so interesting because she left. She stepped away from acting from the industry. She's not part of it anymore. Is there a part that of him that struggles with that, the idea of leaving and putting art behind in that way?
Yeah, but he says, I mean, he says you were very good. You should continue. I mean, he doesn't he doesn't have an ambition on behalf of his kids. They can do what they want, but it's smart to do something that you're good at. You know? So it's not that you have to keep up the legacy or you have to go into your father's business and stuff. I choose not to be like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Obviously, some of your own kids have gone into acting on their own. Have they come to you for advice? Did you give them advice early on as they were deciding whether or not to enter the business?
No, I didn't give them any advice, and they didn't ask for advice, and that's good because I mean, five of them now are actors, and that's a lot. And you know, if you advise them and sort of project your own ambitions on your kids, you destroy the relationship in a way. And I mean, if they're successful because of your advice, then it's your you get the glory for it in a way, and then if they're unsuccessful, you get the shame. So I mean, it's a lose-lose situation. You just step back and shut up. Don't interfere with the kids so much. I mean, people are sort of incredible at that, stupid at their ambition for the children.
I've read something recently. I forget who said it, but at a certain point, you have to be stop being the director in your kid's life and become the audience instead. And and that makes sense
Yeah.
to me. I think that sounds like the right way to do it.
Yeah, and as soon as possible. I mean, you should stop being the director as soon as you. I mean, even not even the director should be directing. He should also be relaxed.
It has been fun watching you and Alexander on the award circuit this season, and you obviously were just on Saturday Night Live with him. How did that come
Uh,
together? Did he invite you? Did they reach out to you? How did that cameo happen?
I got a call from them, and they asked if I wanted to come and be a part of it, and I loved it. I mean, I love Saturday Night Live because it's such a wild concept, and it's always done on a shoestring and with no time at all, and people are not prepared. It's fantastic. Anything can happen there.
Obviously, in Sentimental Value, you're the focal point between these three very different women, and they all have different relationships with Gustav. Did you have different relationships in terms of preparing for scenes off camera? Did Renat have a different process than Inga, than Elle? How did you balance those three styles that way?
Well, I didn't interfere in their process when they were off the set, but of course they have different because they have different ways of finding the concentration and I mean, you say someone would say get into character, which I don't do, but it's sort of you need a concentration, and you have different ways of finding that concentration. Some people do it pretty quickly, like I, and some people need some time.
Was there a particular scene with Renat that was that you really feel you've generated something on set, a moment where you really felt you made a connection in a scene?
The thing is, I mean, I love so much working with her because she is constantly alive and it's fantastic. And I said, to her, it's so sad that we don't have any scene together. What do you mean? She said, "Well, because I'm never reaching you. I'm trying to reach you, but I can't reach you." And but then we had one scene, except for the ending. We had one scene where I tried to reach her, or I succeed to reach you. And that is when a scene without any dialogue at all. And it's in the middle of all the family stuff and everything is complicated. And then suddenly there's smoking outside the window. And that felt, wow, how nice. It was breathing together. And that I call that our love scene. Smoking together.
That's great. I did want to ask, this year's the 30th anniversary of Breaking the Waves, which was the film that really launched you, I think, in the US. People really took notice of that film coming out. And I remember when it came out, I had seen The Kingdom, so I knew sort of what Lars von Trier was up to.
Mm,
But that film still caught me off guard.
mm.
It's such a different kind of film than what he was known for. Looking back on that experience now, what was the most satisfying part of that movie and being part of that particular story?
Yeah, I mean, it was so rejuvenating. It was fantastic to work with a man that he is one of the real experts on filmmaking, the technical side of filmmaking. His first five films were exceptional, and he did them technically brilliant, but they were dead because he couldn't handle the actors. And then he let the actors free in this film for the first time, and something happened. And that was, I mean, my way of working has changed totally since that film. And he had on the set, he had big signs, uh, and they said make mistakes, and that's a very good idea. Because if you make mistakes, then you will be sure that you find something new.
The ending scene always sticks with me, where suddenly we leap into this meta reality where church bells are going off.
Mm.
How did he direct you in that moment? Did he tell you what you'd be reacting to for that last shot?
No, he didn't say anything because, and I, but I liked it. That's a very interesting image because I met Mike Figgis, for instance. He liked the film very much, but he didn't like the church bells in the end.
Hmm.
And he said, couldn't they have had? Couldn't be a realistic reason for them, like ding dong in the rigging of the oil rig or something? And I said, no. The thing is, in this film, God exists,
Hmm.
and that's beautiful. I mean, I'm an atheist, but I can definitely do a film where God exists.
Yeah,
Mm.
on the same wavelength. An atheist, but fascinated by stories about faith when they're done like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Mike Figgis, because the other movie that always comes to mind, I'm a huge fan of Time Code, which I think is a lost classic, and
Mm.
the cast he assembled for that was great, and the filming style was so revolutionary. What was that experience like, doing something so unlike anything being done at the time with digital cameras, especially?
I'm terrified of improvising, and and I think it's so stupid to think that you can improvise as good as a writer can write, who spends maybe hours, maybe days on a line, and you come up with a black, you're out of job. But it's so. I was at the Toronto Film Festival, and Mike Figgis came up to me and he said, "You want to make a film together with me?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah, sure. What? It's an improvised film." Oh, yeah, it's one take. What? And we improvise it, and it's done in an hour and a half. No, it wasn't done in an hour and a half because
Right.
we did several takes. But it is what I did was I of course I fabricated tons of lines. So I had a backpack full of lines when I got in there, because then I could also shut up, which is good because actors are very often when they're improvising, they are trying to talk all the time, and
Mhm.
they try to find conflict all the time. So they're fighting, and so they say stop, 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 stop. Well, silence is good. But it was great fun to do, and everybody was enthusiastic doing it, and we did several takes until we got the best one, but it also meant that you couldn't cut between them, so we could change everything. You could change clothes between takes. We even changed the cast.
Mhm.
Holly Hunter just came in. She thought, "Oh, that's fun. Yeah, come in and play a role. Invent a role for yourself." She did.
It's a great movie. Again, one I hope that I hope it gets rediscovered. It deserves it.
Yeah.
It's a great film. I should also ask. Obviously, we've heard Amanda Seyfried talking about a third Mamma Mia film. Are you in if they get it together? Would you be willing to come back for that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, if I don't know if they will be able to transport me to the set. I mean, I'm so old that I'll probably be dead when it's. But I'll come as ashes.
It joined Meryl Streep that way. Her character is also
Yeah,
dead in the
yeah.
film.
But
So yeah, you're in the
she's
afterlife.
fictional. And then, but I will play from the urn.
There we go. Well, the last question, I'll let you go. Once Sentimental Value does wrap up after Oscar night, looking back on this whole year that you've been talking about this film, what's the experience you'll take away from it most? That'll define the experience for you.
Of course, it's the insanity of it all, and the whirlwind. But it's also, since we are four actors that have been nominated even, and we've been together for half a year all over the world, and we liked each other from start, and we don't hate each other now, and that's a wonderful feeling.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us on Awards Magnet today, and best of luck on Oscar night.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks for listening to Awards Magnet, Gold Derby podcast. Like what you heard? Leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Awards Magnet is produced by Andrew Merrill. Our logo is designed by Chelsea Sakura. Please like and subscribe to stay on top of all the awards news, and email us at awardsmagnet@goldderby.com.